Good morning. Well, I asked Doc to make a documentary today and talk about whether he and I should participate in a documentary that is supposed to be for a major network. I don't know what that means. And it's on alcoholism. Well, I'm ready to do almost anything. I'm desperate to address the problems of alcoholism, and so I'm all for it. I don't know about him, but anyway, when I sat down here and I turned the camera on, I saw this horrible picture back here, and I said, "Oh my word! How apropos! Is this the way the brain looks after a lifetime of drinking?" This is Doc's painting, so maybe it is. It says, it says the male beta looking for a mate. He always puts captions on his pictures, drawings and paintings. So, but this is new to me. I don't even remember seeing this one. So anyway, he's going to join me here, and I'm coming out with a memoir that is a lot about my father's side of the family. I was just plagued with alcoholism to the max, and I barely survived this childhood with an alcoholic father, going to extremes, near-death experiences all the time, suicidal. And now people ask me, what, do you just make a career of ending up with alcoholic companions and husbands? Let me tell you.
I think that's pretty much the way I figured it out over the past 8 or 9 years. That's your career. It's just like my career was to get married 4 times, have 13 stepchildren. That's my career.
Well,
so I don't have any on my own.
Let me tell you, when I was going to get married, I'd say there was about 3 out of 22 possibles that didn't tamper with alcohol. And where I grew up, the boys, there were some that didn't become alcoholics in childhood. They were so eager to drink that stuff and be tough and rough like the cowboys. My dad was a cowboy, a rough and tough cowboy. Well, you drank, you smoked, in the old days, you used to carry a 6-shooter. But
you hang out with the guys too.
This is on alcoholism.
Come on,
I have to talk to him sometimes
camping out.
He says inappropriate, stuff. But anyway, here's a guy.
Did you ever see Blazing Saddles?
Here's a guy that is smart enough to most people that he could be operating on 2 cylinders. And just imagine what he could be if he was operating on all 4 cylinders.
Well, I only have 2 cylinders.
Well, yeah, you.
As a matter of fact, I've got 1 cylinder.
Would you please bring your drink over here? Now, I've never seen this man without one of these, a drink. Laced with vodka's his poison. And now I have 2 older sons who I would have termed alcoholic, and one of them a few years ago he went on a giant binge, and he burned his trailer down and all his belongings. So this was pretty extreme. So he hasn't been drinking since. But my oldest son, who's in construction, always works, but he's a weekend drinker, and he hasn't quit. And I always tell him, or try to tell him, that he sacrificed relationships for this habit. I am not close to him. I hardly ever see him once in a great while. And I would like to see a whole lot more of him, at least quite a bit more of him, as we both live in the same city. But I've always felt that alcoholism came between us. And Doc here, Doc is very talented. He can.
Wait a minute. Just because your son won't let you know what his address is, does not mean he does not want you to come to his house.
Oh, yeah, right. I do know what his address is.
I see you didn't tell me that. I just figured you just didn't know.
But
what
I
it
have
was.
to be welcome, you know. He has to be normal. And,
well, right
well,
there.
he came and took
right
me out.
there,
Let's
we got a
see.
problem.
He took me out for my Christmas dinner, and he turned and went down the wrong way on a one-way street. And I said, "What?" And he told me I finally detected that he was a little bit, high, and I don't. And he said, "Well, I've never come to see you drinking before, but this time I did." And I thought, "Well, yes, and you've gone down the street the wrong way first thing."
He was backing up at the time, for crying out loud.
So I was pretty agitated by then.
He was backing
And
up.
I don't
You
know
thought
why he
was going the wrong
decided
way,
that
but
that
he
would
was
be the
backing
best
up
time to
that
come
way.
and take me out to dinner when he said, "I drank a bottle of wine," and I'm going like, okay. See, I'm a teetotaler because...
On his way over to see you, he's drinking cluck, 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 cluck. I'm gonna meet mom. Cluck, cluck,
Yes,
cluck, cluck, gonna meet mom.
because I want to ask
All
my
you mothers
son.
out there, happy
I know
day.
my two sons. I know my son up in Utah, the one that burned his trailer down. He'd probably be very willing to participate in this study, but he's going to have an operation, and he's going to have a hip replacement surgery.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was going to have a liver
his
transplant.
toxic hip replacement is metal, and it's leaking into his system, and it's affecting his brain. Well, I thought then, why in the world don't alcoholics worry about the poison that's going into their system? Constantly taking away brain cells all the time. See, this guy, my son is in theater. He's done a lot of theater, and this guy is a very talented actor. I've got him on my videos. I've got him
I have
reading
never
my
been in a
plays.
theater other than watching a movie.
I've got him in my plays. I've got him doing improv. He used to be able to do improv, but he cannot memorize. He cannot be in a production because he's not reliable enough. As talented as he is,
See, one of the
he can't be in
problems-
the business. My son can't recruit him to be in one of his plays.
I would not want to be in one of his plays.
Well,
I
see,
would
you
not
don't want to be
your
in
play.
those things.
See, I have a tendency to be more like, or lean toward people like Robin Williams and Jonathan Winters. People are, you give them the script, and you hope by the time you're ready to start filming, it looks pretty much the way you got it. But they don't.
Mm-hmm.
See, these guys are so mentally agile, and their brains are constantly thinking of ways to make it sound funnier or different. And a lot of the things that you used to write about, and we argued about this, is the fact that I said, well, people just don't talk like this. I mean, then you say, well, stick with the script. And then I'd kind of, punch it around a little bit. And then later on she'd say, well, no, that's okay.
Well, the problem with improv and not sticking to the script because you can't remember it.
Well, improv, there's no
Or
script
what
at all.
about Shakespeare? Are you going to improvise with Shakespeare? No, you're not. But you got to memorize.
I
you got
could.
to. Oh, come on. Yes, you could. And it wouldn't be superior. It would not be superior.
Hark.
So what?
One light over yonder.
So what? What he'd do? What he'd do with?
Romeo, we're far out there, Romeo. Hey, right down here, right down. I'm over here, I'm down here, see.
Now, isn't that a shame? Isn't that a shame that a guy like this cannot? I can't let him come and meet with my kids,
Don't think anybody-
my sons, because his what he says is inappropriate. They're going like, Mom,
The guy's holding a
what's this
skull in his
guy?
hand. Is alas, poor York.
they're not going to put up with...
You used to look a lot better with skin, dude. I'll tell you.
He couldn't meet with and do the business side of the theater. He couldn't show up when he's supposed to. He couldn't do this. He couldn't do that because he isolates. He don't even come out of his apartment. He don't even talk to people. How in the world can you talk?
Bachelor's degree in business administration.
Oh yeah, I go down. I say I can't stand to sit here and watch TV. There's no interaction with you and TV.
There is. I talk to her all the time while you're not
you talk
here.
to yourself. But if you go down and you meet people, well, they react this way and they act that way, and you've got to adjust. Well, this is what he can't do. He's got to the point where he has to stay in this little apartment, and I'm not going to stay here with me. If I stay here too very long, I'm going to get stir crazy. I'm going to watch TV or argue with you about. I was getting terribly upset there. And now I told him, I says, I have to go free. I'll come down here and talk to you for however long we can be civil to each other. But the minute an insult starts, the minute I get emotionally upset, I'm out of here. I'm out of here because I can't take it. I'm nearly 83 this summer. I shouldn't be expected to take
July
insults.
23rd. Birthday cards were welcome.
31st.
Money in the card is even more welcome, so, work with it, She needs some.
So I vowed never to drink. My grandfather didn't drink. Now, neither one of my grandfathers ever drank. But one grandfather's 4 sons drank like...
Both of my grandfathers, but I don't know, maybe it's just one of those German things, we invented the beer fest and all that. You drink, but you don't get staggering drunk like some of those people up in the boondocks like you people came from.
Pass out, yeah.
Yeah, because you've got friends and neighbors and they're not going to let you get away with it, Like,
I went to the Navajo reservation once and I went around the corner they were having a drinking party and they were all laying around passed out. And I said, oh my gosh, that's where my dad and his buddies drink. I come in, I remember him passing out under the Christmas tree. And then when we get up in the morning, we say, Daddy, open your presents. He'd be hungry. Oh, okay. And then he'd sit on his lap. And I said, isn't that terrible? My dad passed out under the Christmas tree.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, though. That's one present you weren't expecting for Christmas, right? Santa Claus, you want to come and get this and back up the chimney?
Daddy, open your present. It's from us.
Did you give him a bottle of bromo sulfur?
Oh, it was pitiful. Just pitiful. Think that little kids had to put up with this. So,
oh boy.
but
Only in southern Utah or maybe other state. I don't know.
if he had not been, well, to tell you the truth, he's a guy with a high IQ, he's a college graduate, he's got a degree in business, and
He's spilling to the
and he used to play the piano.
Well, I
I
don't want to
say
hear
he'd
anymore.
still be the reason why you don't play it is because of that, not.
Now I told you.
Used
the
to go
reason-
down
Go
to
down
our-
there, and next thing you got 3 or 4 people going, do you know how to play? Well, hell, I've been. I go, oh, jeez, Yeah, well, besides that, I'm 70, your fingers
77.
aren't, the brain is willing, but the fingers just don't want to coordinate.
Oh,
there.
baloney! They would do just fine if you didn't have. Every time he says he can't do something, I go, you could do it. I'm nearly 83. I can do all kinds of things.
Let me see you play the
Because
piano.
my brain is clear.
Let me see you dance. Let me see
I
you
can
do-
kind of dance
I wanna
too.
see
Hey,
you
I've
do
been playing pool.
gymnastics.
I've been playing pool, and I can play with the. And I like sober guys to play with if I can get them, but usually pool is played a lot in bars, so a lot of guys play pool. And I'm one of the best pool players you've ever seen.
That reminds me, you're talking the other day.
Like this.
You're talking the other day. One of the tenants here, I believe who shall remain nameless, a female, she doesn't really know how to play pool, but she likes to play ping pong. And I said to this person over here, I said, you know, I've been in a lot of bars in my life, you know, and I've some of them have pool tables and some of them don't, but I've never walked into one bar that's got a ping pong. Never.
That's just too wholesome. That's too wholesome.
Wholesome, hell. Most of the guys, they'd be down their hands and knees.
Oh my hell, imagine the drunk chasing, he gets drunk in the bar and he's have to chase the ping pong balls.
Bad enough and one of the pool balls pop off the table, you know, and the guy said, you know, we only have 9 balls left here. Where are the rest of them? Oh, they're on the floor someplace.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I used to play in bars, and you'd always get a drunk up there that you'd have to play. You had to put your quarter up. And he would be saying,
why do you want to go to a bar sober?
Well, because that's the only place I could get a game going. There's tons and tons and tons of alcoholics in bars playing pool.
That's why they go to bars.
So, that's where you go. I'd ask people to play ping pong. I had a ping pong table, and no. They wouldn't play with me. My boys, do you think they're going to play ping pong with Mom when they could go to the bar and do something? So I went to the bar with them.
I will tell you what.
And I played the guys, but I played sober. So
my mother never played ping pong with me. She never did. We had a ping pong table in the basement. My mother never once came down and said, why don't we play some ping pong? My dad never played ping pong with me.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I was lucky to get the neighbor kids to come over and play ping pong.
Well, I went to bars, but I never drink. Bartenders hated me. They absolutely hated me. But they act like you don't belong in here. You're a bad influence on our customers.
You use words
our desk customers. You're telling them to quit drinking.
These bartenders weren't acting. They seriously did not like you.
Oh,
there was no acting involved here. You know, if I had said, lady, I'm acting like I'm mad at you, but I'm not really. Why the hell are you here?
That's what she'd say. Well, I asked her, she was an alcoholic. They let her drink all day long. Her mom and her stepdad would sit there, they owned the bar, and they would be drinking all day. And they'd let her drink all day. And so I was just sure it was going to kill her. And so anyway, I come in there and I said, well, hi, Rose, how are you? And she says, where are you working nowadays? I haven't seen you. This was after. She says, I've been to the big house. And I said, the big house? Oh, I don't know of any bar named the big house.
Boy, try to be naive around here. It's so easy, you know. Listen, I have to go to I've been in the outhouse. For 4 hours you've been in the outhouse?
And all the buddies laughed like crazy at me thinking it was a bar. The big house. Well, she got in there for drunk driving. Guess what? She died before any of those alcoholics, because they'd go off and work all day, come in there and drink. She drank all day long and she died. Alcohol-related death at 42.
She run into a brick wall in her car?
Well, no, she took ibuprofen after she burned herself drunk, burning some leaves, and she started bleeding. Well, she called her...
In the house or outside the house?
No, she went to the bathroom and there was blood in her urine.
She's burning leaves in the bathroom?
No, and anyway, she called her... ex-husband and told him she was bleeding. She'd already been to hospital emergency over the burn, and so he said he'd come home pretty soon, take her to the emergency. And so he waited around, and when he got home, guess what? She could not be revived.
Oh.
So she died, leaving a little son, 12 years old, alone.
It's probably good for the kid, you know, like, I thought Mom would never go, you know, holy crap, every day.
Her mom and stepdad were alcoholics. Her real dad had burned himself up in a hotel in alcohol-related fire. I mean, boy, I quit going to the bar. I couldn't stand all those stories about what happened. what was happening in their lives, you know.
Well, don't you-
It was terrible.
Don't you remember that one time when you told me,
I couldn't take it anymore.
when you told me that you got this petition in the mail from all of these bar owners and bar companies that
Don't let her.
do not,
86 her.
they got a restraining order against you coming in, being within 100 feet of our place.
You're not supposed
you
to
were-
mention
if we ever see you-
alcoholism in a bar, for heaven's sake. Well, I didn't really preach to
And
them,
then,
you know.
remember
I
the
just-
last line on the petition? It says, why don't you go to church?
And then they just said, what the hell are you doing here, lady? No, I played pool, you know. I tried to act like one of the guys in a way, you know, one of the girls. And Rose was better pool player than I was. I played her several times. She could beat the hell out of me, but
Yeah, I
now
mean, a few guys tried
she's
that
dead,
too, you know.
and I'm still alive at 83.
Well,
I
tell
say,
you what,
okay, Rose.
you gotta
I
make-
told those guys, I said, this girl's gonna die, you guys. This girl's going to die. And
Okay,
you guys you're supposed to be so buddy-buddy with her. You're just gonna, and she did. She died. So, but anyway, I think we better wound this up. I'm getting wound up. I'm getting so wound up that, I don't know, that I can contain myself. Yes? That should be called the alcoholic's nightmare.
See, I just changed these things from time to time. I changed this yesterday. I shaved. It took her 15 minutes. He says, oh God, you shaved. And then she says, oh, that's perfect for our video. It looks just like you. Or your
Okay.
Come on, you're over 20 minutes. That's
All
long enough.
right. Well, here we go. I hope that we get on in this documentary, you know, and
Well, see, you're mentioning to somebody who really doesn't care.
yeah, right. That's his motto. I don't care who gives a shit.